it's Bella, and today I'd like to talk to you about the new moon on the 11th of May 2021 at 21 degrees of Taurus. Now, this new moon is connected to building your path forward, a path you've been building on or working towards, connected especially to the houses in your chart where Taurus and Gemini are found, as well as Virgo. And the moon is in exaltation in Taurus. The ruler of this new moon is Venus, and she represents what we love, how we want to be loved, relationships, our self-worth, our comforts and material supports, our financial security, our homes and land and how we feel safe, our values, purchases and possessions or possessiveness, our style, our grace and how we carry ourselves, our bodies and how we feed and take care of them, the necessities of life, our home in the universe and the earth itself. Now, at the time of this new moon, Venus, now visible, is found in Gemini, deposited over by Mercury, also now visible and strongly dignified in Gemini at this time. Now, the new moon and sun are in a wide square to Jupiter in Aquarius, allowing for great sacrifices to be attempted for that which is desired and that which is truth innerly acknowledged. The new moon and sun are also sextile Neptune and emphasizes the spiritual concept connected to your path forward, and that you're not only thinking of material security and luxuries you can feel physically, but that you're also thinking of where your soul is being fed eternally and for eternity, the bigger picture entirely. And Neptune is also the strongest influence after all here and carries a dream forward with a blessing. Now the new moon and sun are also trining Pluto, and there's a powerful emotional energy to this new moon. So you might be feeling very strongly about something, or something is pulling very strongly on you, and it is very important for you, otherwise the bridge forward cannot be crossed. Now Mercury, the dispositor of the ruler Venus, is in dignity and also trines Saturn in dignity during this new moon, which suggests practical solutions to problems and the possibility of turning your dreams into a manifested reality, at least starting to see this manifesting what you're working on. It's also great for negotiations. It's good for lasting contracts. Both planets are also slowing down to retrograde later this month. Venus, the ruler of the new moon, is square Jupiter and sort of promises that all involved will come out as beneficiaries. It's a fair exchange, and it attracts growth and joy, but be careful of overindulgence and the possibility of overspending. But this is mostly beneficial for legal matters. Mars in Cancer is sextiling Uranus during this new moon, which can motivate the move towards change, and it can even add excitement and new insights, or a new way of feeling about something. But it does add that notion of a bit of fear and caution. It also has some defense mechanisms that could come out from your childhood, unpredictability, and really a stand for freedom and individuality is coming through here. Saturn in Aquarius is still square Uranus in Taurus and runs that energy of willingness to take radical action towards change, the experience of tension you can no longer take concerning more freedom or independence in two areas of life likely interrelated. In some cases, changes or new ways of approach will do, and in others, it will not, and it will need to be severed completely to promote new space for growth. Now, during this new moon, the sensitive organs is the neck, larynx, the throat, vocal cords, the thyroid gland, the Adam's apple, the tonsils, the voice. It's not a good idea to have any surgical operations during this new moon if you can help that. This new moon is really asking you what you really would like your life to look like going forward, to feel like going forward. Who is in it? What is in it? And so forth. Do I need all these possessions? What is good for you and your essential necessities, and what decisions, choices, and changes need to be made to move forward into that with solid commitment. And even though there can now be a lot of information or options and worries, the trine of Mercury to Saturn shows that there's more clarity with this new moon, more certainty of the steps to do in order to get to the answer, or to travel to the destination, or to, get closer. Even if the answer is not that clear yet, there might be opportunities here to see. Now, what is necessary and what is luxury or just not needed anymore? There's different ways of doing something, or a new way of looking at something, or a new understanding, or a new way to feel about something. There's a curious energy with this new moon about finding out more, but maybe now you know where to look or how to look at things from different angles, or even from others close to you's perspective. Their feelings, their needs, their view or understanding, in a more unbiased way with more compassion and understanding. There's support, and this is mostly a positive new moon. Maybe input from your siblings or relatives or those close to you can aid you with eye-openers that assist in turning the key to this new doorway you are moving through and ready to open and step into. And there is some joy connected to this, to the process in some way. Even though there's some drama as well, there's joy connected to this. There's new life to something old, or there's a new period awaiting. There's a quote by Norman Cousins that goes, "The tragedy of life is not death, but what we let die inside of us while we live." Now, the number 21 in numerology is also connected to fulfillment and finally coming to terms with what is required to complete the circle, even if at first you might not even realize you are on the right track, or the information and clarity with this new moon will assist you in moving you into making the right moves in the end for the best completion and peace that you can finally relax and settle into, even if the reality of it is not yet tangible. Now, Mars is currently out of bounds until the 24th of May, and currently in Cancer during this full moon, where Mars does not really find comfort, which again accentuates the emotional need for taking action in order to find that stability that brings us to comfort, which just seems so intangible at this time. But we are moving towards it, and we must stay mindful in controlling our emotions. Venus, the ruler of this moon, will be playing tag with Mars, going out of bounds as he returns, and she will be wilder than most until the time of the Mercury retrograde, ending by late June. The dispositor of the ruler of this moon, Mercury, is out of bounds during this new moon and will be until the day after he stations retrograde, May 30th. The energies of these planets tend to be a little out of control, a bit more raw and wild during these periods of out of bounds. We may be acting out of our normal character in the areas of life represented by these planets. Therefore, we might find ourselves being willing to do things we do not ordinarily go for in order to find our way out of the maze. This new moon is in the nakshatra of Kritika, symbolized by a knife, and in Sanskrit, to cut through to the truth, indicating perceptivity, power, and a discerning nature. Kritika is ruled by the sun and extension of God, and emphasizes his hand and guidance, self-realization, and spiritual enlightenment, cutting negative influences, cutting the rotten, in order for new life to take shape and grow. There is a power connected here, and the power to assert and lead once the known path is no longer misty. So I will end with the Sabian symbols and the inside degrees for 21 degrees of Taurus. Now the Sabian symbol is a finger pointing to a line in an open book, a need for guidance from above. And the inside degrees is a statue of Hermes decked with brightly colored garlands. Hermetic wisdom revived. Two extreme polarities, the far inside and the far outside, expressively playful, tricky, fluent, and engaging. Inwardly contemplative, studious, brooding, and lost to the world, guided from within to stay entirely secluded and solitary in your inner life, yet transmuting your solemnities into accessible bits and pieces in all familiar contexts, a way to render unto Caesar and still serve the highest. An arduous track, the ultimate challenge to throw the self off and take the self on as it is appropriate. Strategic incarnation under special assignment. May the sun shine bright on you this day. May there be blessings coming your way. Until next time.